Yeah, I just need my blue hat on. And I have something on my mouth.
Okay,
Ow.
okay, stop moving. Oh.
Ah.
Oh,
Cut myself shaving.
Oh, fuzz.
I love that one. That's my favorite hat.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Bonjour.
That's bad.
Oh,
yeah.
Just relax.
Sorry, guys.
You didn't warn me about the pokers.
You didn't warn me about the Bajan nonsense.
Bonjour.
Okay, stop.
Yeah, hold on.
Ah. Fit for a king.
Alright.
That goes right in my head. Ah! Well, we did it.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one in the bag.
Another good one.
The most
Probably one of my favorites so far.
beautiful.
Incredible.
Jojo.
Ah.
Jojo.
Ah.
So, what do you think? Do you
It's
like my
absolutely incredible.
Do you like my festive poncho?
Yeah, it's a tree skirt.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, yeah, exactly, it is. You sewed that.
I stole it from Mrs. Claus. You know her, she's a styling lady.
This will be cut. Anyways, let's go on with your ornament.
So?
Let's see the ornament. How did you do that?
Well, they're gonna learn. You're gonna learn today. Get a Kanzashi tutorial.
And you've done Kanzashi before.
We have done Kanzashi before. Have we done? Yeah, we did. For the Halloween one, we did the ribbon where you burn it.
Yeah.
And so this one, we got a ornament from Michael's for like really cheap, and then I added some of my own little zhuzh.
Ah, stop with the je.
And it looks so nice.
It is quite amazing.
Like it is.
I would pay $40 at an art fair for that.
Damn right you would. Your
You
mom.
gotta chill with the swearing, man.
It's a damn.
Damn right.
If you want to learn how to make that, or just how to do the petals and make your own creative flair, keep watching for the tutorial.
Tutorial's coming up.
Coming at you.
All right, we're making a Kanzashi ornament. So just prep your little squares of ribbon and make sure they're perfect squares. Gather your tools and start folding. So all I've done is match the two corners in half, fold it in half again, and then fold it in half again. And there you go. So all you want to do is make sure you have a nice tight grip on with your tweezers or whatever tool you find is the easiest to do this with. I use needle nose pliers for this step just because I find tweezers just don't get a good enough grip. And make sure your scissors are really sharp. Like fabric shears are the best option for this, just because the layers of fabric are thick and it's hard to cut through with regular craft scissors. And then when you're using a lighter to burn the edges, just be careful that you don't burn your fingers. And make sure that all the edges are lined up nice and neat. And you'll probably just give them like a little squish to get those like fibers to match up. And then make 100 of them. No, I'm just kidding. Make as many as you need for your flowers. A little bit extra in case you make a mistake. And what I do is I take a kitchen sponge. That's actually like the same kind of material that a magic eraser is made out of, but doesn't have any chemicals on it. And I use that to place my petals and prep it before I put it on the actual ornament or on the actual whatever I'm putting it on, just so that I have a general idea of what I'm kind of gonna make or build or whatever it's gonna look like. That way you don't feel like you're committing to something without knowing exactly how it's gonna look, and it helps create like a general idea before getting your glue started, because you'd hate to put something together and be like, oh my god, this is so ugly. So here I'm just taking a bulb. I got that at Michael's for literally like next to nothing. And I'm just using a little bit of hot glue only on the edges of this ribbon. I'm not putting it through the whole ribbon and gluing it like around the whole circumference of the bulb. I'm just gluing it along the inside of the bulb because hot glue tends to show through ribbon, like if it's a thin ribbon. So you can kind of see where the glue is behind the material, and I didn't want to do that because it looks kind of bad. So if you're really, concerned about the ribbon shifting around on you, just get fabric glue and use that, or like, you know, something that's less thick, like, because hot glue is really thick, and you know what I mean. So, but that's all I did for this, and then I put the little cap back on to hide all the little rough edges. So yeah. And now is the easy part. You just take each petal one by one and use just a small amount of glue. Don't get crazy with the glue because it's so messy. Plus it's just hot glue, so I mean it works, like a little goes a long way. And then start placing from the center outwards. At least for this design of the flower, I find is easiest so that everything's symmetrical. If your flower isn't going to be symmetrical, I mean, then that doesn't really matter, but this way at least you know like the focal point is in the middle of the ornament and it's not going to look, you know, skewed to one side or whatever. So, and then have a sip of wine because that's necessary as well. So here I didn't actually glue those little inserts into the petals, so I had to do that on this tutorial part. Just thought it would be helpful to show that in case anyone was wondering. And it's literally just a smaller fold with that kind of cream colored ribbon that I've tucked into the petal. And this is actually like quite a small flower, and I only wanted to do one. I suppose you, like if you were going to hang this ornament on the tree, you'd maybe put two, like one on either side, so it's got a flower design any way you look at it from any direction, but I thought just one was nice and classic and simple and kind of stunning on its own. And now I'm just adding a few petals just on either side. Like I wanted it to look as close to real as possible. I didn't want to like, you know, overload too much green or make it too ornate, because it could be, there's a fine line between like classic Christmas and tacky Christmas. So unless, I mean, tacky is what you're going for, that's fine too, I guess. And there you have it. So now I'm just going to put a little middle piece to hide the center, like a little button. So all I do is I take a small button, just big enough to cover that center piece, like there's just a little bit in the middle, and I apply a little bit of hot glue to the button. And place the fabric on it. So it's nice sticky, and then I'm going to cut the circumference of like around the button. I'm going to cut off the excess, but leave enough room, kind of like seam allowance, if anyone knows how to sew out there, just so that you can actually wrap the edges around the button and there's enough to glue. But don't forget to melt the edges with your lighter, because this fabric, or this ribbon in particular, frayed a lot on me, so I just find that, like, yeah, just a light touch of the lighter should do it. And a little bit more glue on the other side of the button. And since hot glue dries so quickly, I basically just pressed the fabric right onto it, because it dries so fast that it wasn't really hot, and you wanted to catch it while it's still sticky, so I just used my fingers. And then a little bit more to kind of seal up the edges. Wait for it to cool a little bit, and then just basically smushed it down. Be careful with this part, because yeah, just wait for the glue to get a little bit dry. And then kind of just play with it, make sure it looks all nice and even. And there you go, see, perfect size. So super easy. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. That's like very simple. And you can honestly leave it just like that. I think it looks really good just as is, but I took a little extra step and added some little jewels. They're like Swarovski. Does anyone know how to say that word properly? Because everyone says it differently. Anyway, I got some from Michael's, and I'm just going to put these on. So I kind of like play around just to see the design and how many I need to cover the center, and I didn't know if I want to do a lot or just a few, you know, so I kind of just placed them on the button before I started gluing, just to get a general idea, and then I used the hot glue to stick them onto the flower. And yeah, it was a little bit of a struggle because the glue dries so fast, but you know, we made it work. Oh, dropping the jewels. Losing the jewels. Yeah, so that's just me kind of getting an idea of where I want to place them. And now I'm going to glue them down. So like when I'm spinning the little kind of like glue gun around, I don't know if anyone's noticed that, it's to like help with the, like, you know, the string, the stringy bits that hot glue always has. I do that little spinny motion to kind of like cut the string. It's actually a technique I learned when I eat natto, if anyone knows what that is. But yeah, and then with these little gems, the struggle, yeah. I don't know if you saw my little fish shake there because it kept falling, kept getting, you know, in the way. The glue dries too quickly, so just be patient. And also, I found that like if the glue dried too quickly on you, you can just peel it off the back of the ornament or the jewel, and then try again. And there you have it. A pretty ornament. Look at that. Even I'm impressed. That looks nice.
So what do you think of the tutorial? Hope it was elegant and informative and beautiful and helpful.
Elegant?
Well, yeah, I thought it looked very nice. I mean, like, I was putting a flower on a thing.
It wasn't elegant, but I hope it was informative.
It was elegant. Everything I do is elegant.
Oh, stop.
You're a fart at you.
Ah.
You think you can make one of these? You think you would give this as a gift?
I would definitely give this as a gift.
I think I would love to receive
It is so beautiful and easy to make.
And like,
it's not expensive.
Easy to make, and it looks so pretty. Like, it's easy, and yet it has such a stunning outcome.
And you can do a lot of them.
Oh my gosh.
Because you have to buy the ribbon. So once you have the ribbon,
oh,
you have...
I know. Number one tip, what we discovered, if you get the ribbon that's got ribbing on it, like it's more textured, it's not just a satiny finish.
It's way easier to cut.
Well, but it also looks way nicer. Like, it looks more...
Gives it more texture.
Yeah, it makes it look more expensive.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
it looks less homemade and more like...
elegant, as she says.
Looks pretty.
It does look really good.
Yeah.
Look on the blog, you can see close-ups of the picture.
Oh yeah, really, there'll be really good pictures. And Wakku tips and all the links about the supplies that we use, and yeah, and anything that like I think of when I'm like, you know, oh yeah, you gotta remember this, you gotta remember that.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't have to use Swarovski crystals either.
No, but I mean, like, if you go to Michael's, they're fairly reasonably priced. So I mean,
they were like $6.
$6 for a pack of like what, 20?
Yeah.
And I used only like 5 on this, so.
Okay.
So yeah, not so bad. But there's always sales. Like, Michael's always has like buy one get one off, or buy one get 50% off, and then the 40% coupon you get every month, every few weeks.
They can just check the blog. There'll be links. It'll give them more information.
Yeah. And stick around for our next video in this 12-part series.
Yeah! Jean. Stop.
Jean.
Stop.
What if you're like...
That was a joke.
What about like...
No.
What do they do?
No.
Andale.
No.
No.